Hey everybody, Ace Channel Liam here and welcome to Heat 2 of MetroMania Season 7. For those who aren't aware, MetroMania is an ongoing 16 Pokemon Metronome-only double battle tournament to determine the Season 7 MetroMania Champion, and this season is set in the Galar region. If you're a fan of MetroMania already and you are ready for more, hit the like button, let's get 1,000 likes on this episode of MetroMania, and of course hit subscribe if you're new so you never miss an episode. This tournament is only just beginning and it's only going to get better. And of course, use code ACE to save yourself some money on GFUEL. Oh, that is beautiful. Strawberry banana. I like very much, yes. Thank you. Code ACE. But of course, with all that waffle out the way, let's have a look at the Heat 2 brackets. Last week, we said goodbye to a big favourite in the form of Cinderace. Just couldn't quite cut it against Toxtricity. Toxtricity was very, very dominant throughout. Although Cinderace did claw a victory back in the second round, it just wasn't to be. Toxtricity moves forward to the quarterfinals. Plenty more heats to go. We've got 7 more heats. We do need to find out Toxtricity's quarterfinal opponent, and it's either going to be Frosmoth or Corviknight. So here we go, Frosmoth versus Corviknight. Frosmoth is bringing a massive disadvantage in this tournament anyway, in the form of 2 4x weaknesses. Both fire and rock type moves absolutely destroy Frosmoth. Corviknight's pressure ability is not going to be fun either, because of course 2 times pressure means that I believe Frosmoth will be using 3 PP every turn instead of 1, which is insane. But let's see how this battle plays out. Shiny Corviknight is going to go for Nuzzle on the first turn, trying to get the paralysis on that Frosmoth, but of course it doesn't paralyze it because of the shield dust ability of Frosmoth, which stops added effects of moves like this Gunk Shot, which is going to be a very powerful poison type move, but will not be able to poison Frosmoth. It brings Frosmoth down to less than half its max HP, so that might not even be a factor anyway. Shiny Frosmoth is going to go for Glare, which will guarantee paralysis on which Corviknight? On the regular Corviknight there, so Corviknight is now paralyzed. That's what Frosmoth needs to do. It needs to make sure it can basically cripple Corviknight and take full advantage. Here's a Rock Throw, not going to do a lot of damage, although it is neutral. Frosmoth really needs to utilize its special attacks if it's going to be able to do anything to Corviknight. That's Frosmoth's kind of MO there. Corviknight, shiny Corviknight I should say, is getting ready for its next move. It's going to go for Quiver Dance, raise its special attack, special defense, and speed each by 1 stage, which is a bit of a worry for Frosmoth anyway, because that special defense increase is not going to help Frosmoth at all. We see shiny Frosmoth getting ready for its next move. It's going to go for Seed Bomb, which is 4 times resisted by Corviknight, so that was a bad move right there. Not a lot of damage. I'm a bit annoyed because Corviknight has such a long name. We couldn't put S at the start of the shiny's name. S-Corviknight would not fit, so that's if you're wondering why. Oh, unfortunately, Frosmoth goes for Stun Spore on the already paralyzed Corviknight. 2 paralyzed Corviknight would have been a great move, although Turnabout is fair play. Regular Corviknight paralyzing that Frosmoth with Thunder Wave, and because that's not an additional effect of a move, that's an actual status move, that will guarantee paralysis on that Frosmoth. Frosmoth must be fuming right now. Thought it could get away with not being paralyzed by the Nuzzle, but it wasn't to be. Here's shiny Corviknight though, who is going to go for Assurance for I imagine a little bit of chip damage. Decent chunk of chip damage, to be fair there. It's not looking good for Frosmoth in this first round. It may need to take a loss and then maybe try and regroup. Here's a round which won't be very effective on the steel type regular Corviknight there. Not a lot of damage at all by that shiny Frosmoth. Now it's over to a regular Corviknight, who is going to go for Morning Sun and restore its HP back up to maximum. So fair play to Corviknight for that. Saying to Frosmoth, you want to damage me? I'm going to put my health straight back where it belongs. So, oh, and regular Frosmoth's paralyzed. That's so unfortunate. I feel very bad for Frosmoth right now. Their first round battle is the cruelest, I think, of all the battles chosen by this random number generator that chose the combatants for this series. Withdraw from shiny Corviknight. It knows that they've pretty much got this round won, so it's just making it even more difficult for Frosmoth to mount any kind of offense against these Pokemon. They need critical hits for days. Here's a Power Gem, though. That is a special attack onto that regular Corviknight. You see how much damage that did? That's a testament to the special attack stat of Frosmoth that it really needs to utilize. Here's a Crunch, though, from the regular Corviknight onto that shiny Frosmoth, doing a hell of a lot of damage. Of course, the shield dust prevents the defense from being dropped there. Sunny Day, though, from Frosmoth. This is a bit of a dangerous play. You're increasing the power of Fire-type moves, which is your 4 times weakness. But if you use a Fire-type move on Corviknight, then there is a chance you could very much take it down while the sun's up. Frosmoth really needs to utilize moves like Leech Seed, or Bind, or Wrap, or Fire Spin. Any combination of those moves to continually damage Corviknight. Here's a Scold, though, from the shiny Corviknight. reduced damage because of the sun being up, so I take back what I said to Frosmoth. That was actually quite a smart play in advance. Here's Acrobatics from the Shiny Frosmoth onto that regular Corviknight. Shiny Corviknight is going to be resisted, though, unfortunately, because of the Steel typing. Regular Corviknight is paralyzed, won't move this turn. This is an opening for the Frosmoth team to take advantage. Regular Frosmoth's going to go for Clanging Scales, which is resisted. Again, Dragon-type moves are resisted by only Steel-type Pokemon. And down goes the defense of Frosmoth as well, which does not bode well for it. But it was a worthy chance. You know what? It was commendable. Let's go with that. Here's Shiny Corviknight going for Incinerate. Oh my goodness! This with the sun up. Oh my days! Just absolutely melted both Frosmoth. So round one goes to Corviknight in decisive fashion. Frosmoth now has an uphill climb. Very much so. Poor Frosmoth. There's the Corviknight confidently back on the field. Here's Frosmoth. Oh my word. This is an uphill battle for Frosmoth nonetheless. Then again, we've had underdogs in the past here on MetroMania that have surprised all of us. All it takes is a Horn Drill, or as we saw with Toxtricity and Cinderace last week, a sheer cold would take down a Corviknight. Anything can happen, and that's the beauty of the Metronome. Healing Wish on turn 1 from Corviknight will be completely useless. And here comes the Shiny Corviknight with Zap Cannon. Oh, what are the chances? What are the chances the Zap Cannon hits? Isn't it like 50% accurate or something ridiculous, or 75%? Poor little Frosmoth. Didn't take too much damage, though, because of its special defense. Smokescreen is a fantastic play by Frosmoth. So blinding the Corviknight, reducing its accuracy by 1 stage. Things like that are what are going to keep Frosmoth in this competition if it wants to survive. Here's a Darkest Lariat. Shiny Frosmoth with a Darkest Lariat. Here we go. Shades of Incineroar. My word, that actually did a decent chunk of damage for a physical attack from a Frosmoth, at least. Fantastic. So now we're over to regular Corviknight, who... Let's hope he doesn't waste his move this turn. We see an Iron Tail. Oh, that could have been very dangerous for Frosmoth. That is one of Frosmoth's weakness. Luckily, it was avoided due to that smokescreen. Here's a Bind. This is exactly what I was saying Frosmoth should be using. This is a little bit of chip damage with guaranteed damage at the end of each turn for several turns. That's what the Frosmoth team need if they're going to take Corviknight down. Jaw Lock from Shiny Frosmoth onto that regular Corviknight there. Neither Pokemon can run away now because, of course, apparently Frosmoth's gigantic jaws are locked onto this Pokemon, but I don't see it. Here's a Leer, though, from Frosmoth. That's a smart play. Lower the defenses of Corviknight. Corviknight, of course, very defensive Pokemon, so it would be very, very handy if you could take that defense away. Great job there. There's the bind damage from the Shiny Corviknight, though. Corviknight just absolutely dominating this competition. There has been no moment in this contest so far where I've thought that Corviknight was not in control. Regular Corviknight is going to go for Hone Claws and increase its attack and its accuracy, which is, again, absolutely fantastic for Corviknight. It can deal more damage, and its accuracy is back up to its original state, so that smokescreen's now irrelevant. Clanging Scales, we saw this last round from Corviknight doing a decent chunk of damage there, but that is now -2 defense that Corviknight is at. So its defense is effectively halved right now. The Frosmoth team needs to take advantage. Here's an Arm Thrust that will be neutral on that regular Corviknight there. 2 hits with the Arm Thrust, 3 hits with the Arm Thrust. Oh, and a crit at the end as well. We've got 3 hits out of that Arm Thrust. Not quite enough damage to Corviknight to really give it some trouble, but still. Blaze Kick, though, if that's on the Corviknight with half defense, this could be a killer. It's not on the Corviknight with half defense. It's on the regular Corviknight, but does get the burn, though. This is the opportunity that Frosmoth needs, because now that Corviknight is taking damage. That Corviknight has 2 to 3 turns max left in it. There's the bind damage from that Shiny Frosmoth. If they can take out that Corviknight on this turn, they could be in the driver's seat right now. They could have 2 Frosmoth versus 1 Corviknight, which is a much easier competition for them to win than facing both Corviknight. Here's a Shell Smash. This Corviknight senses danger. Going to sacrifice its defense and special defense in favor of its speed, attack, and special attack, which is very, very dangerous for Frosmoth right now. Corviknight senses that it's not got left on the field and wants to take full advantage of this opportunity. It wants to take full advantage of its time left on the field. A Cell Rock is going to be 4 times effective by that Shiny Corviknight. Takes down one of the Frosmoth. This is not good for Team Frosmoth. They are slowly but surely looking at possible defeat, possibly having to fight for their pride in the 3rd round. We see Leech Seed coming out. Oh, and it misses from the Corviknight. That would have guaranteed that Corviknight gets knocked down and would have given a little moment of healing to that Frosmoth. That's very, very unfortunate. I'm assuming it was for the burn Corviknight. Actually, to be honest, I don't even know. It could have been. That would have been the better play. First impression, though, does fail because it's not the first turn that this Corviknight's been in battle. That's an opportunity for Frosmoth right there. So the shiny Corviknight's going to go for Guard Split, which for Frosmoth, I mean, you have... Does that swap those defense changes that it's had? Because that may have been a very smart play there by Corviknight that I've just not seen. But I guess we'll find out. Here's a Tail Whip, though, which is going to further lower the defense of both Corviknight there, which is a good play by Frosmoth, but it needs to take out the regular Corviknight. It needs to make sure that's not on the field anymore. I mean, the burn is going to bring it down to one turn. One turn left this Corviknight has. It needs to take advantage of that one last moment. What's it going to do here? This is the last move this Pokemon could potentially be using in this battle. Goes for Horn Leech. That isn't going to be very effective on Frosmoth, but may give it just enough HP to survive another turn, whilst it's done a little bit of damage to Frosmoth, and any bit of damage is better than no damage. Does heal itself up a little bit. I guess we'll find out in a moment if it will survive the burn. And here comes shiny Corviknight. What's it going to do? Going to go for Muddy Water. Of course, Frosmoth does have decent special attack, so it should be able to survive this. It's not much damage at all there from that shiny Corviknight, so very, very lucky is Frosmoth that Muddy Water was chosen, and of course didn't get accuracy drop because of, oh dear, recycle, wasted turn. There's the burn again on the Corviknight because of Shield Dust, but there's the burn, yes, and it doesn't quite take down that Corviknight, so that Corviknight lives to fight another day. It could just spam Horn Leech if it was very lucky and just keep surviving. What's it going to do here? It's going to go for Double Team and increase its evasiveness. So it's going to try and make Frosmoth waste a turn trying to hit it, which any hit on that Corviknight is a wasted turn. So I don't think it really needed the Double Team, but sure, go for it. It's probably feeling quite confident. Purify is going to fail from shiny Corviknight there. Now it's over to Frosmoth. It needs to start attacking the shiny Corviknight if possible. Goes for Drill Peck. Which Corviknight though? On the wrong Corviknight. That could be a disaster right there. You've taken one Corviknight out, but it wasn't even going to attack this turn. You've absolutely wasted an opportunity there. Even though Drill Peck wouldn't have done much damage and maybe wouldn't have made a difference to this battle, it's just a shame that you wasted that opportunity. Here's a Bulldoze. I imagine that's going to be not very effective, of course, because Bug resists ground for some reason. There you go. So, and of course, no speed drop because of Shield Dust. Frosmoth is getting ready, going for Razor Leaf. That's 4 times resisted. Grass-type moves are not going to help you, my friend, but at least you've done some damage, finally, with a critical hit to that shiny Corviknight. You need to start using moves that are super effective on this Corviknight, or you're not going to continue on in this competition. You're not going to get another opportunity, Frosmoth. Here's a Fling, of course, fails. No moves left from Frosmoth, so it's going to struggle because of Corviknight's pressure. Hope you were paying attention at home. Knocks itself out with the recoil, and it is out of this competition. Now it is playing for pride against Corviknight. Corviknight has won. I can confirm this is what we're doing in Metromania now, so that people don't get confused when there's a shorter video and think, wow, this is a short video, I know what's going to happen. Now Frosmoth is playing for pride. Sit back, relax, and see if it can claw back its pride against Corviknight. See if it can do something. See if it can show us that it could have, under the right circumstances, taken down Corviknight. I guess we'll see. Corviknight with Glaciate using Ice-type moves that aren't very effective on Frosmoth. Gonna hit both the Frosmoth there with the Glaciate. Of course, no added effects because of Shield Dust on both these Pokemon. Shield Dust has helped these Pokemon survive a little bit, just not quite enough. Cotton Guard coming out, giving +3 defense to the regular Corviknight. So that regular Corviknight is a very, very physical beast right now. Not much is happening there. What's going to happen to regular Frosmoth now? It's going to go for Growl and lower the attack of Corviknight. That's the kind of play they should have been doing from the word go. Very, very unfortunate. I really, I know I'm supposed to be unbiased, but I really hope that Frosmoth can get some kind of victory here. Some kind of, you know, make it 1-2. Don't end in a 3-0. Come on, here's a Head Smash, though, which should do, did a decent chunk of damage, but it could have done a lot more on a physical Pokemon. Frosmoth really needs to stick to special attacks. Now it's time. Let's see what Corviknight's going to do next. Corviknight must just be smug as anything. This is going to be a dangerous Pokemon going through this competition. Work up from that regular Corviknight. Going to increase its attack another stage. And its special attack, I believe. Yes, special attack by 1 stage as well. My word, and here's shiny Corviknight. Corviknight is a steel type, which, you know, historically, increasing its defense. Jesus, they're really messing with Frosmoth now. Maybe they're trying to get Frosmoth to a point where Frosmoth both just struggle themselves to death again. Corviknight, you know, historically, steel types have been very, very powerful in Metromania because they have so many resistances. They're so hard to take down, especially with Metronome. There's Roost from Shiny Frosmoth, going to increase its HP back up to maximum. Well done there, Frosmoth. Great play, but you need to start attacking Corviknight if you're going to be able to deal any sort of damage, obviously. And as well, Corviknight with that pressure ability is just sapping the PP out of these Pokemon, and it's going to make it so difficult. Nightshade would have been a great move for Frosmoth to utilize in these battles. Guaranteed 50 hit points of damage. That and Seismic Toss would have been great for it. Shiny Corviknight is going for Substitute. They're just playing with it now. They're just toying. They're like predators toying with their prey right now. Just hiding behind the Substitute. No S's given. Sing is avoided by Corviknight there from Frosmoth, so no sleep in there. Shiny Frosmoth is going to go for Smart Strike, which is going to be resisted. It's going to hit the Substitute as well, so not much damage there. Guaranteed hit, but obviously isn't going to go through the Substitute, so doesn't even break the Substitute there. That is really, really unfortunate for Frosmoth. I want them to get a little bit of pride. Come on, guys. Isn't this painful? This is what the pride battles are going to be like. Corviknight, Shiny Corviknight gets ready, goes for a Dragon Claw onto which Frosmoth, though? Onto the regular Frosmoth there, bringing it down to less than half its max HP. My word, Corviknight has been disgustingly dominant here. It's been embarrassing for Frosmoth. Flame Wheel is going to be 4 times effective on that regular Frosmoth. It is down. We are down to just 1 Frosmoth versus 2 Corviknight. This is mildly embarrassing for poor Frosmoth. Here's the Shiny Frosmoth. What's he going to do here? Going to go for Solar Blade. That's a 2-turn attack, and it's 4 times resisted by Corviknight. So, oh my word. This is not a good idea, Frosmoth. I know you're at full HP, but you should be at least trying something. Just anything. Shiny Corviknight getting ready to attack behind that Substitute, hops back to prepare itself for another Dragon Claw. My word, here comes another Dragon Claw from Corviknight onto that Shiny Frosmoth. Big chunk of damage there for just a Dragon Claw. Now it's over to regular Corviknight. Is it going to let Frosmoth use this Solar Blade? Goes for Draining Kiss. I imagine that won't do a great deal of damage there, being a special attack. So not a lot of damage to Frosmoth. Doesn't heal Corviknight either. And here is the Solar Blade, which is going to do so little. Look at that damage. That's embarrassing. Oh my word. What's going to happen here? Unless Frosmoth can do something like use Incinerate or Eruption or something like that, or even Lava Plume, it's got nothing right now, and it still needs to break that Substitute. Regular Corviknight goes for Magic Room, because why not? Why not go for Magic Room? Frosmoth is slowly but surely running out of power points for its moves because of the pressure exuded by both these Corviknight together. Shiny Corviknight is going to go for Poison Gas. It's avoided by Frosmoth. Not that it matters at this stage. Don't you just feel bad for Frosmoth now? Here's a Mud Slap. Doesn't even affect flying types. What a mistake to make. This Frosmoth at this point is just absolutely frazzled. There are thousands of people in this stadium watching this Frosmoth. There are thousands of you watching at home, and it's just embarrassing. Thrash comes out from Corviknight. If that's not a knockout, the next turn of Thrash will be. My word. Here comes Shiny Corviknight. What have you got in mind here? It's going to go for Brick Break. And here it comes. Good night, Frosmoth. That's got to be it. Down goes Frosmoth. It's 3-0. That's embarrassing. Corviknight in dominant fashion takes its spot in quarterfinal 1 to face Toxtricity. That was a tragedy. Well, I think we figured out Corviknight is going to be a bit of a problem because it's a Steel type, and Steel types traditionally have done very, very well in Metromania because of all their resistances. And also, it's got pressure. And it's got pressure times 2. So that struggle situation we had that got Frosmoth out of this contest, that could be a problem going forward, but we're going to do what we always do in Metromania. We're going to push on. We normally go with primary abilities in Metromania. And it's a good thing because it means that Sinistea later in the series won't get Curse Body. But it does pose a problem when it comes to pressure from Corviknight. So good luck in the next round, Toxtricity. Although you've got a few weeks to prepare, so maybe you'll think of something. Speaking of Polteageist, actually, tune in next week to see how it fares, because it's not later in the series. It's literally next week. It's going to take on Grimmsnarl, so make sure you tune in for it. Turn subs and notifications on and all that. And that actually is where I'm going to leave Metromania for this week, so make sure you hit the like button if you enjoyed. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you're new, and of course, use code ACE for money off GFUEL, or if you'd like to support the channel, you can use the little Patreon link in the description like these people down here do. Thank you very much. Until next time, I'm Ace Liam. Keep on training.